Microsoft is to permanently close all but 4 physical stores. The 4 physical stores will be the flagship stores. So we're talking about the one in London, the one in New York, the one in Seattle, and then the last one is in Sydney, Australia. So if you want to go to a Microsoft store, if you want to buy a Microsoft product, you're going to have to do that online. And do you have thoughts about like why they decided to do this?
Well, I think that that headline in and of itself has been a very misleading. I mean, they're closing down the retail experience of their stores. Like this, what's happening with these stores are they're becoming more of experiential places, like places of learning. Microsoft has done like a whole bunch of boot camps and things at the Microsoft store to connect people with technology, robotics, etc. We see this at Apple locations. Like Apple was the pioneer of this like experiential retail experience, which is why people love going to Apple stores because you're not just like going there to buy a phone. Like you can go chill, put your Wi-Fi on. There's a DJ, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So I mean, in the nature of retail now is like most people buy their stuff online, especially when it comes to tech. Like some people will go into stores to see stuff out, but usually it just happens online. Like you know what you want or you look it up. But being able, I like the move to go full retail. I mean, full experiential and no retail. Because that Microsoft store in New York, we're both like we have a long history with that place. Now you can change every floor to be so many different things. Like they have the esports studio, they have the extended gaming studio. Then what are they gonna do with the main floor? Like what's gonna happen? I'm excited. And let's go. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think the lockdown really affected the stores just because obviously social distancing, we're not allowed to have certain
Yes.
people within 6 feet. So when you're talking about like some of these smaller Microsoft stores across the country, they just couldn't even operate on the normal situations because they just are not getting the revenue to do it. So having just these 4 stores kind of like be the only stores makes sense. But at the end of the day, like we still have to see what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
with everything that's happening with Microsoft, like it's really looking not too good for Microsoft, obviously with the whole Mixer thing, which we'll talk
Yeah.
about with Coven and Brittany later. But I think like, do you think this is like kind of like showing us that Microsoft may be falling off the deep end?
I think that's like giving them a slippery slope where it's like because of what happened with Mixer X, Y, and Z is happening to the company. I think that like COVID in and of itself is such like a crazy thing that if we were to have retail experiences in New York City, which is like the densest place in the country, like it's gonna be such a liability because one, not everybody's gonna get like vaccine or have antibodies to deal with this type of thing. So it's like it's gonna get transmitted and things transmit in the city so easily. So when you go experiential and eliminate retail, you can create more control over how many people you allow in your space, how many people are allowed for this. Like, is it a ticketed event? Is it a private event? So that's like also what I thought about when we were speaking about. Like, I think like that's a good move, and that's why it makes the most sense. But I mean, Microsoft, I mean, their E3, like their announcements and stuff, they're looking pretty strong. Their services are looking great. Their cloud services. And I don't think that this is any indicator that they're falling off. I think they just got like a lot of bad PR right now.
A lot, and hopefully they can recover that before the end of the year.
All right, Natalie Domingo. As,
Okay, shots
okay.
fired.
Again, we gotta say it every episode till it happens.